We are live at NECANN with Disrupt Boston, and I'm here with Goldie, and we're going to talk about cannabis. Hey, Goldie.
I'm ready. Hey, how are you?
How are you doing on this lovely rainy-ish day?
Good. It's turning out to be a better day than we expected.
Yes, the sun did end up coming out, so that was great. So, just wanted to talk to you about what you're doing. So, I hear that you're starting a cannabis co-op, which I think is so dope. Can you tell us how that started?
Well, actually, I started out just kind of advocating for people to apply for the EEC program. And as I was doing it, everyone kept asking me if I had applied. I didn't yet. On the last day, I decided to apply.
And can we rewind just a second and tell people what the EC program is?
Economic Empowerment Certificate. And I ended up with it. I applied as a family. We're farmers. We own one of the oldest black farms in Massachusetts.
Wow.
Over 120 years.
Wow, amazing.
So we were able to get in under that because farmers were one of the
Things they were looking for.
And so we figured where we could make the most bang for the buck was opening a co-op because we would be able to reach out to more people and get more people involved.
And can you explain how the co-op would work? Just a light explanation. I know it's a lot to it. But
we're pushing the limits and we're aiming for something new in Massachusetts. So as a black farmer, we have a black land trust here in Massachusetts, and so we're advocating to get the land trust used for black empowerment people in general, because here in Boston we have such a squeeze on the amount of available property.
Absolutely.
And to grow outside, unless you have big bucks, it isn't happening. And even then, it really can't.
And
so we're going to rely on the state and push the state to give us some access to some of this land that me as the only empowerment person with a farmer's license is entitled to. I just feel like it should be opened up to more.
Of course. And I mean, why shouldn't black people get involved at the beginning?
Absolutely.
So we've been disproportionately arrested and incarcerated for this, so why not be a fact of making some improvements?
And even bigger than that, just the PTSD in our communities.
Of course.
As we're trying to advocate to get more people involved, I'm finding more of a pushback from our own community because we're suffering PTSD from everything surrounding marijuana.
Of course, and everything that we've learned over the years is that.
And so now it's reteaching our parents, our grandparents,
the elders, and the youth about how to be responsible.
Well, the youth has been very awesome. I can say Boston has a great group of young activists that are really pushing, and I'm letting them lead the way. I'm a little bit older, so bringing the younger generation and just be their backbone and show them support. But, I mean, amazing things are happening here in Boston. Unfortunately, a lot of not so great things are happening, but that's why the activism is such a big part of this. It isn't one of the other.
It's
one thing I say to a lot of people, our journey is different because we are black. So we have to approach this whole situation completely different, which means we know it takes a village to raise a child, to do anything in our community. And so we brought that across in our co-op, Village Piff Co-op, because it takes more than just me, more than one other. It's going to take a whole village to get this done and get it done properly.
I really like that.
Yeah.
And so you said that, so are you guys the only black farmers in the state?
Yes, that own land that applied for the cannabis. So we have a very small number of black farmers, even smaller number that it's less than 3%. Even smaller than that own the actual land. So we have great places like the urban farmers.
Yes,
so we're trying to team up with the urban farmers and work with them and see what can we do for the people of Boston. My family's from the South Coast, Rochester, Mass. So we are starting our co-op down there, but we plan on opening up in Boston and other areas to get more people. We don't have enough black representation throughout
the
this
state, of course.
And we're not just talking about growers. We need the architects, we need the lawyers,
we need everything.
Everything. We need the everyday people just to say this is what we need and this is what we deserve. We're not asking for it. We're coming to take what's rightfully ours.
As we should. And so can you go into, so you said you started one already in Rochester, and what do you guys do as a co-op?
Well, we haven't started. We're fighting the process.
Fighting the process. Okay, I'm sorry.
right now everyone is having a hard time with municipalities. And as you hear the stories with everyone, well, I can tell you our journey as people of color is completely different. Everyone likes to say it's the same, but it's not. It's completely different. No matter where, because even in our own neighborhoods, we're fighting here in Boston to get in Boston, and we're getting pushback from our community leaders. And one thing I have to remind everyone is to vote. Vote. Call out these representatives, these councilmen, the mayors, everyone across the board. If they're not on board with what your mission is, it's time to take a step back and rethink and get out there and hold signs and cheer on the candidates that are making the difference for us.
And that makes sense because we need revenue in the city, one thing, and gentrification is an all-time high. And if we allow them to continue to push us out of our communities, we're not going to be able to do anything.
Absolutely.
So, and we lose our voice, and when you lose your voice, then you have no say. So it's a sticky situation. But so I would like to get a little bit more into like the idea of a co-op. So where did that come from? How did that come about? Because like there's a lot of groups out doing like co-ops, but more around farming, not around cannabis.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I never expected to get the license, but when I was advocating for people to get involved, it didn't make sense to me for me to benefit just by applying for just a dispensary because I couldn't make a difference. My community is everything to me. And it sounds so corny, but it's so real. When I say my community is anywhere where there's people of color. So even in those outskirts where there's one or two, that's my community too. And so one dispensary wouldn't change it. It would line my pockets very well, but that isn't the objective. It was to give my people back the power that we deserve. And just because I truly believe in the benefits of it. My daughter had a cancer scare and we turned to cannabis. She was 14 years old. Thank God she's well now. But seeing the healing process just made me more passionate to come out and speak, especially in our communities, because we know all those grandma's secrets that we kind of keep underneath.
Of course.
I just felt like it was time to take a risk and step out as, being a holistic healer. One thing in our community is we kind of keep it on the low if you're doing that.
Because you don't want somebody judging you.
Exactly. But I decided, why not? Why not me take that stance and come out here? I'm not very comfortable being in the public eye, but I understand if I don't do it, I can't expect someone else to do it. And I didn't see a voice for my communities. So it made me push harder and go looking for these young ones that I want to put out there. My daughter's stepped forward with me. My mom has stepped forward with me.
So it's
my
a real
brother,
family affair. That's beautiful.
My son. So it's been great.
And so is there something that you want to leave people with?
Get out and vote. Advocate for what you believe in. Make sure that we have active participation in this. Hold people responsible for everything, literally. So when they're trying to come in and do a community host and tell you what their business is about, ask the hard questions. How many minorities are going to be hired by you? We're going for minorities to own also, but we need you working in the industry. Not everyone can start out owning, and we get that. So we need it across the board, and I think really pushing back on these cities and towns that are rejecting the idea of an EEC and thinking that they don't have to give this to us. Well, we're not asking. We're here for the taking, and we have a fight ahead of us, but we're here for it.
Hey, I like it. Well, thank you so much for coming out, Goldie. I hope you enjoy the events today.
And I hope you'll join us this summer down at the farm. We'll be doing some events as the UCGA.
Of course.
And so
that
come
would
out
be
and check us out.
awesome. Yes,
right.
that's
Thank
super
you.
exciting. Thank you. How was that?
Good.